All right, Algebra 1, 15-3. Today's date is Monday, April 15th, 4/15. All right, so this is our final lesson in 15 and Unit 15, how to factor things. Tomorrow's going to be our pretest. So, what are the two steps? Every single time that you factor, every single time you will do these two steps. Everyone should be raising their hand. This is the third time I'm asking this question. It's copy-pasted from 15.1, copy-pasted from 15-2. I need to see basically everyone's hand. What are the two steps when factoring any quadratic? Josie. First step, find the greatest common factor, factor that first. Then, Josie, I do what? There it is, ninja star. Everyone, write it down. You need to be thinking about this every single time. I wish my Algebra 2 students had this memorized as well as Josie does, because they always forget step 1. They automatically go to step 2, and then it doesn't work. If you do not do the greatest common factor, the ninja star will not work. You'll be writing out things, and you're like, wait, 2 times 4 is not 12. What happened here? It's because you forgot to do your greatest common factor. And I want to make a note also. Here's my note. I'm going to do a little asterisk. This today is going to be advanced and forever more in our mathematical career. Not just a normal ninja star. That was just a scaffold. That was just a way to help you with the advanced ninja star. Every single time you're always going to do advanced ninja star. It will still work with the lower, easier problems, but if you do an advanced ninja star every single time, it will always work, even for difference of squares and sum of squares and really hard things. Advanced ninja star will solve all of your problems. All right, so now we have a different type of reverse situation. Again, Unit 15 is going backwards, Unit 14 was going forwards. So let's go forwards. Let's pretend we're in Unit 14 where we have to multiply polynomials. We can either FOIL, we can box this one. I'm going to do the box method this time just so that we don't get messed up. So everyone, the easiest way to set up your box is to first make a box. After you make your box, put lines through your box so that you have sides that you can write on. So everyone is writing your box method. If you really want to FOIL, you cannot write the box and you can just FOIL it out. But I've seen from 2 different tests, both you guys and geometry are kind of in the same spot. Geometry is 2 days behind you guys. They're doing the same material you're doing, the same notes. Almost everyone from both classes, the most common error was they used FOIL for these problems and then they made a mistake. Whereas people that used the box, they still made a mistake, but it was far less often. So I really like the box. People make less mistakes. So on the top and the left, I need to set that up. Who can help me do that? Set up this box from Unit 14. What do I label the sides of my box? I see 3 hands. Again, raise your hand with a card if you still have your card. Sergio?
So on the top, there's 3x minus 5.
Okay.
2x 3.
Plus 3. All right, thank you. So Sergio, you can turn in your card. And I should also mark who our absences are today. So boom, boom, and boom. All right, everyone say hello, Cohen. Hello, Jennifer. Hello, Jessica. All right. So coming back here, Sergio's XP is in, his card is in. I need someone, quiet raised hand, one person to do this cell for me, this box. Again, who has their card? Who has their card? Jose, yes.
So 6x.
6x. This is to the power of 1 and power of 1, so I add the powers. There it is, 6x squared. Thank you, Jose. All right, another volunteer. Quiet raised hand. No, Sergio, you can't take your card back. Gunnar, go for it. Either box. I don't know which one you're doing. You can say bottom left, top right.
9x.
You're doing the bottom left, 9x. All right, thank you, Gunnar.
I help myself.
Only give help to students that need it, guys. If you're always giving help, then people could never learn. All right, Monse's next, top right. Negative 10x. Thank you, Monse. Gunnar and Monse, turn in your cards. And Julian? Negative 15. Thank you, Julian. All right. I'm also going to make that little diagonal mark that I always love making in this box to let me know those two should be my like terms because they both have an x to the power of 1. Who can tell me what the final answer is? When I add all of the inside, all of this yellow, when I add all the yellow, what do I get for my final answer? Multiplying this all out. My final answer, combining like terms. I only see one hand. I see Fernando's hand. Yeah, go for it, Fernando.
6x to the power 2 minus x
Minus 15. There it is. Box it. Final answer. Just make sure that you know that 9 minus 10 is negative 1, so that's why we have a negative 1x for that middle term. Thank you, Fernando. Your card is now in. All right, so that's going forward, a bit of review. So this is really hard to go backwards because before what we were doing for our Ninja Star is this used to be a 1, this used to be a 1, but now it's not a 1, it's some other number. So that's why we have to use the Advanced Ninja Star. All right, so scrolling down here, Advanced Ninja Star is, you only use it when you have a trinomial and sometimes a binomial. So let's put in the rare case, let's do like a little asterisk here, sometimes a binomial. And that's sometimes. For all of Algebra 1 in our class, because we have to go kind of accelerated, I will never give you a binomial, but you should know going into Algebra 2 in 2 years, I guess a year and a quarter if I'm being super accurate, you will be seeing a binomial and you can still use the Ninja Star. Notice that I'm also missing the previous asterisk. Don't write this down. What we had last time was we had a leading coefficient of 1. And that is no longer the case. I would cross that out. We don't care if we have a leading coefficient of 1 as long as you factor out the greatest common factor, as long as you do step 1, the Advanced Ninja Star will work. So I am allowed to have a number like 6, 12, 7, any number for a leading coefficient now, because I'm teaching you the Advanced Ninja Star. Notice that I'm adding a little bar here. So it's not just an X, it's kind of like this snowflake, or what I consider to be a Ninja Star. Here is how to use the Ninja Star. Let's pretend that we're starting with 6x squared minus x minus 15. That's our problem. The problem looks like that on the test and says factor that guy, 6x squared minus x minus 15. How are we going to do it? Well, here are the new steps. Instead of just putting c on top, I do a times c on top. So here's a, here's c. Notice how it corresponds to the problem above. What number goes on top? Quiet raised hand. It's a little bit hard to do. What is those two numbers multiplied together? Andres?
90?
It is close.
Oh, negative.
Negative 90. So negative 90 goes on the top, and if you don't believe us, 15 times 6 is indeed 90. So negative 90 goes on the top. Thank you, Andres. Extra XP. That's always nice. All right, on the bottom. What goes on the bottom? Look at those steps. I have the steps listed out for you. I see Jose with his hand up. Who else can do the one on the bottom? What number goes on the bottom of the Ninja Star? I see Jose and Sergio. What number goes on the bottom? Jose. So the B term, yes, and the B term is, say again? Negative 1, exactly. Negative 1. All right, we have set up half the Ninja Star. There's an additional step to setting up the Ninja Star. Thank you, Jose. The additional step is to do this. AX on the top left and the top right. This is not 100% accurate. It should technically be A times the square root of this X term. But again, we will get into the nitty gritty of that in Algebra 2. So for now, just put whatever A you have. So if I had 6 there, I would put 6x. But whatever A I have in the top left and the top right, I'm going to put that term. So who can help me? What do I put in the top left and the top right? Fernando. 6x. Just 6x. So just, yeah, you just put an x term. So 6x, 6x. Yeah, we kind of get rid of the power 2 for now because we know that the factored form is going to be something x times something x instead of x squared, x squared. These terms right here should correspond to these terms right here. All right, so now I've set up my Ninja Star. I'm going to pause. Make sure you understand all the steps for setting up the Ninja Star because this is going to be tested. Our practice test is tomorrow. Ask me questions. All right, then we're moving on. Now, I'm finding 2 numbers that multiply to the top and add to the bottom just like last time. So what times what is negative 90? Ooh, that's a hard problem. Well, 45 and 2 are 90, but 45 plus 2 does not, or 45 times negative 2 adds up to 43. So what else times what else is 90? What times what is 90? I see one hand that already figured it out. I'm going to wait here because this is a key step. What times what is 90? Ooh, 2 people have it. What times what is 90? And they also have to, or negative 90, and they also have to add to negative 1. Jose, can you tell us one of the numbers to let everyone else figure out the other number? 9 is one of the numbers. Everyone else figure out the other number. I'm going to write down Jose's number, 9. What is the other number? I should see more and more hands. 9 plus what is negative 1? Yeah, Gunnar. Okay. 9 times what is negative 90? 9 plus what is negative 1? Fernando. There it is, negative 10. Jose, Fernando, thank you for helping us out. All right, I have my problem now solved. But here's the thing. I need to treat this 6x over 9 as a fraction. 6x over 9 is the fraction 6x over 9. I need to now reduce the fraction. I have 6 on the top, 9 on the bottom. I can now divide the top and bottom by what? Yeah, by 3. And that will turn into, I need a quiet raised hand this time. What is this reduced fraction? I'll show you where to write this. Andres, that reduced fraction is?
2x over 3.
2x over 3. So I'm going to write that over here on the left-hand side. I gave a bar right here. So 2x divided by 3, that is my final fraction on the left. So thank you, Andres. And I need someone to reduce this fraction on the right as well. I reduced the fraction on the left. I got 2x over 3. That means my answer is going to be 2x plus 3. I need someone to reduce this fraction, 6x over negative 10. Who can reduce 6x over negative 10? Sergio. Yep, divide the top and bottom by 2.
3x. 5.
Negative 5, there it is. All right, everyone make sure that you have that written down. It's an additional step to our Ninja Star reducing these fractions. I would say that's the second most common mistake when doing factoring problems. Is the first most common mistake is forgetting to factor out the greatest common factor. The second most common mistake is forgetting to reduce your fractions. Now that I've reduced the fractions, I just write them out. So 2x plus 3, 2x plus 3. That was the left. It doesn't matter which one is on the left, which one is on the right. You can switch them. And then on the right, 3x minus 5. 3x minus 5. And there's our answer. And you will see that if I go back to my original problem, that is what I started with. 2x plus 3, 3x minus 5. We went forwards and we went backwards with the same problem. All right. We're going to start doing example problems. Does anyone have any questions thus far? Yes, question.
Can I go to the virtual?
Can you hold on till the end of the lesson? All right. Let's go to example 1. All right. Example 1. Factor out the greatest common factor. What is the greatest common factor here? Fernando?
1.
Yep, 1. There is no greatest common factor. I mean, if there's 1, you can't really do anything. So step 1, check off. We don't have to do it. Sometimes you don't have to do step 1. So thank you, Fernando. And then I'm on to step 2, using the advanced Ninja Star. So I've already done step 1. Everyone, go ahead and write this right now. Advanced Ninja Star. It's an X with a line through it. There's my advanced Ninja Star. I need one volunteer to help me fill in 4 values to set up my advanced Ninja Star. What goes on the top, the bottom, top left, top right. Everything but these 2 spots. Everything else needs to be filled in. Who can help set up the advanced Ninja Star? I see 1 hand. I see 2 hands. I see 3 hands. Go for it, Jose.
So would be 70, right?
Careful.
Negative 70.
Negative 70. And then the bottom.
3.
Top left.
2x.
Top right. Perfect. All right. I set it up. I want all of you to figure out what 2 numbers multiplied to negative 70 and add to 3. And I need a final answer box on the right-hand side. Do that now. All right. Quiet raise hand. What were the factors? Factors of negative 70. Eder.
Negative 7 and 10.
-7 and 10. Perfect. There they were, and then I need to reduce the fractions. So thank you, Eder. Let's come back here. Eder is in. Got his card. Perfect. Thank you, Rochelle. All right. I need to reduce the left side and the right side. Who can do both of those for me? Jose.
So you just leave the right side, right?
The right side, 2x over 10.
So wait, that one would be x and 5.
X over 5. And the left side would be...
Just one just be 2x.
Yep, it doesn't change. I can't reduce that at all. So that means, Jose, my final answer is...
2x minus parentheses, x plus 5.
There it is, x plus 5. And box it. Question, Fernando?
Can you also do, like instead of the -7, can you do -10?
So if you do -10 and +7, you'll get a -3 on the bottom.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's a good catch. Yeah, you can actually do that. One thing that you can do is you can write these backwards. You can flip these. You are allowed to switch those. That's the equivalent of just switching these -7 and 10. So you are allowed to switch, but yeah, you definitely need a -7 and 10. All right. Give me a fist of 5. How well could you have done that problem on your own? I'm expecting low numbers. Oh, some high numbers already. I'm getting some 3, 3, 4. Oh my God, a 5, 4, 3. Okay, we're doing really good. Let's go to example 2. Let's increase those scores. I want everyone to be a 3 or above by the end of the day. Well, by the end of the lesson, a 4 or above by the end of the homework. All right, so example 2. I need to factor this guy. Step 1, step 2. There's always 2 steps for every single factoring problem. There's always 2 steps. Who can help me do step 1? I see 2 hands. I need to see more hands. I saw a lot of people give me 4s. I need to see more of those hands. All right, Fernando.
12. Oh, no. 12. 2.
What about 2?
Greatest common factor.
The greatest common factor is 2. You are correct that 2 is the greatest common factor, but that's not what you're going to factor out. You're really, really close. The trouble with factoring out of 2 is what's left over is a -6x squared. And I said up here, did I say it? I guess I didn't write it down. The leading coefficient has to be positive. So let's go ahead and write this down since I forgot. I said it out loud, but I forgot to write it down. This guy has to be positive. It always, always has to be positive. Otherwise, that will also break the ninja star. If you guys are curious why that breaks the ninja star, the general idea is because something times itself usually is positive, but that's not the only reason. There's more depth in there. It'll work better if it's always positive. So Fernando, what are you going to do to fix it?
So you factor out the negative one?
Negative as well, just a negative.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
So I'm factoring out a negative as well. So it's not just the -12, but the negative and a 2. So we have to factor out the negative to keep it a positive. And we have to factor out a 2 because that's the greatest common factor. So when I'm factoring out the greatest common factor, I'm not only doing the greatest common factor, I'm doing the thing that will set up the ninja star, making this leading coefficient a positive. So by factoring out a -2, I'm now dividing everything on the inside by -2. Fernando, can you do the rest of the problem for us? Just the rest of the factoring right here, the first step.
So it'd be -6.
Careful. So negative divided by negative is now a
Oh, I thought you factored just 6.
6.
Plus it's x
6x
over 2.
over 2
Oh, wait. Yeah, I can't read that.
to the power. There it is, to the power of 2.
Plus 7.
You're good, you're good?
Plus -3.
Yeah, there it is. Plus -3 or -3. Yeah, thank you, Fernando. More XP, more XP. And we are now ready to do a ninja star. Just as a review, we factored out the greatest common factor. Fernando did that for us. It was 2. The problem was we need to make sure that this number, when I'm left over, has to be positive. It was going to be a -6, but we factored out a negative as well to make it a +6. And that switched the signs on everything on the inside. Because you're dividing this by -2, you're dividing this -14 by -2, you're dividing this 6 by -2, and I'm left with the inside. That's called factoring out a -2. All right, now I do a ninja star. So set up your ninja star out here on the right-hand side. It's a giant X with a line through the center. I need a quiet raised hand. Who can help me set up the ninja star? Go for it, Gunnar.
I'm not raising my hand.
What is that?
This is like what I'm pondering.
You're pondering like this?
I was not saying like that. I was looking at this and I was like, look at that.
Okay, Andres, go for it.
So on top it's gonna be -18,
Good job. -18.
and on the bottom 7.
There it is. And top left, top right. Take your time. You got this. Look at your notes.
6x.
And what about the top right?
6x.
Same thing. Yep. Same thing on the top left. So I'm essentially taking this without the squared. I'm always taking that first term without the square. That's the general thing that I want to put on the top left and the top right.
No, Josie told me to.
I definitely saw it. Yeah. Thank you, Josie.
Then I reported.
I reported.
No, you didn't. I reported. Don't.
So thank you, Andres. And that's when I want people to help. When people are struggling, that's the perfect time to help. All right. So I've set up the ninja star. Well, rather, Josie and Andres has helped us set up the ninja star. Now I need to solve the ninja star. All right. What times what is 18? 1 and 18. Okay, well, that doesn't help me. What times what is 18 that also, or -18, that also adds to +7? 6 times 3, right? 6 times 3 would somehow be a 9 or a 6. So 6 times 3 doesn't work either. What times what is 18? A negative what?
2 times 8.
2 times 8 is also 16. Oh, 2 times...
No.
2 times 9. Okay, I can see 2 and 9. Which number would have to be negative? So 2 and 9, which one would have to be negative?
9.
2.
So to get a +7, I need a -2.
6, 9.
So that's the general way that you want to be solving these. Like, what times what is 18? Just go through all of the things that multiply by 18. Try making one of them negative, both of them negative, see what happens. All right. Obviously, for the -18, only one of them needs to be negative. And I need to now reduce the fractions. So I believe Jose and Fernando were the ones that were helping us most on that last problem. I need to now reduce the fraction. Quiet raised hand. Reduce the fraction on the left. This 6x over -2, I can divide the top and bottom by something. Jose?
3x and we just leave the bottom blank, or would it be -1?
It would be -1. Yeah, you divide the bottom by 2, the top and bottom by 2. -2 divided by 2 is a -1. Thank you, Jose. And I need someone to simplify this fraction on the right. Andres.
So it's gonna be 2x over 3.
There it is. Thank you, Andres. I'm dividing the top and bottom by 3. Divide 6 by 3, you get 2. Divide 9 by 3, you get 3. And who can tell me the final answer then? What is the final answer? The thing that I'm going to box. Fernando.
-2. Wait,
Yep, -2 is still outside. Good.
and then 3x minus 1, and then 2x plus 3.
There it is. Box it. Don't forget that factored out greatest common factor from step 1. That is the most common mistake. You'll factor it out, or you'll even forget to factor it out and break the ninja star, but you'll factor it out and then forget about it. That is the final answer. -2 times 3x plus 1, 2x plus 3. I need a fist of 5 also, after you finish writing this one. If you're still writing, that's fine. I need a fist of 5. How well are you following the lesson up to here? If I see a high enough score, I'm just going to make you do example 3 on your own. 2.5? Okay.
-4.
-4? That's totally breaking our scale. Julian, what do you got? 2? Okay. Let's do another one as a class. I'm going to wait until everyone's finished writing. I see 2 people still writing. Unless they're doodling. If you're doodling, don't keep writing. Okay. Let's go on to example 3. All right. Ooh, let's try a harder one. So, Andres, Fernando, Jose, and Sergio. You may only help. You may no longer participate. You may only help.
Man.
And we have to get through example 3 without the people that have been participating the most. Let's see what happens. Example 3. What do I do first? Talk in your group if you need to. Help your group. Quiet raised hand. What do I do first?
What? Andres isn't helping. He's trying to lead us.
No, wait, hold on. So it's gonna be what? It's gonna be negative.
Yeah, you can.
Precipitation calculation.
Negative precipitation calculation.
I still don't see any quiet raised hands. What is my first step?
Oh, first step.
And do the first step.
I go.
I don't know what it is. It's 6 times 6 is 1. It's square. Okay, there it is. So 6 times 6 is squared, so that makes it 39.
What isn't it?
No! Stop!
Why yelling?
Because you're frustrating.
Alright, then I'm gonna just help you.
Still waiting for quiet raised hand. I just want someone to do step 1 for me. All right, Monse. Yeah, let's do it.
So you find the GCF.
All right.
GCF is 3.
So the greatest common factor of all 3 of these terms you're telling me is 3. All right. Let me just check. Yeah, all of them are divisible by 3. The way that I know that is I can add these together and, well, actually, it's kind of easy to see that they're divisible by 3 too. All right, so I'm going to factor out a 3. Monse told me I'm going to factor out that 3. Monse, can you do the inside for me as well?
Yes. So it's 12x squared plus 13x minus 4.
All right, thank you, Monse. And Fernando. I think Fernando's helping you on that one, right? I'm going to give you both XP. All right, I'm on to step 2, which is setting. Oh, yeah, someone help me do step 2. What am I going to do? Tell me exactly what to write after I give Monse and Fernando their XP. So, Monse, what do I do? Gunner, go for it.
Top's gonna be. Oh, wait. Ninja Star.
Ninja Star, top,
Negative 48.
negative 48.
And the bottom is 39.
Ooh, careful.
Andres?
Andres is looking at the old problem. Look at your new problem, Gunner.
No problem.
Look at your new problem.
Oh wait, oh never mind, that's 13.
It's 13. But Josie helped me with the second one. Andres helped me with the first one. Then I heard Josie.
Gunner, without any help, see if you can get the top left and top right. Okay, get a little bit of help then. That's not helping. That's just giving him the answer.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah,
12x and 12x because you basically chop off the square. This square term, you chop that off and just leave the 12x. All right, thank you, Gunner.
Wait, Andres helped me. And Josie helped me.
All right, I will give them both XP as well. Josie, and then Gunner. Boom, Gunner.
4 questions.
Boom. All right. I need someone to solve this. What times what is 48, or negative 48? That adds to a positive 13. What times what is negative 48? Ooh, that's going to be tricky. 12 and 4, that doesn't work though. What times what is 48? Work in your groups. Make sure that everyone knows what's going on.
No, it's not 6. No.
8, 7.
No.
8, 8.
2 and 24 don't work.
Wait, no. It would be.
This one is a hard one.
Wait,
Because we're near the end of this lesson, I will go ahead and give you a hint. One of the factors is negative 3.
Oh, -3, 16.
Let's see, 3 times 16, that does indeed equal 48. 3 times 16 is 48, so we'll put a positive 16. All right, quickly reduce the fraction on the left. First one gets XP. Go for Monse.
4x and
-1. Thank you, Monse. And on the right. What do I do on the right? Sorry, it has to be someone else. Okay, Monse again.
3x over
There it is. Divide the top and bottom by 4. Monse and Fernando. That team strikes yet again.
Ronaldo's using the Kahoot hat.
All right, and then finally write your final answer, 4x minus 1. Don't forget that 3 also. Don't forget the 3 up front and the 3x plus 4. A final way to check, this is something that Mr. Sindel always does, is I check these first two terms. 4x times 3x, does that indeed equal a 12x squared? It does. All right, we're good. That's our final answer, and box it. We had a very long lesson today, and that's because we kind of started late because of Mr. Snell making copies and our long warm-up. But there is our lesson. If I would do anything, I would write the Ninja Star, the advanced Ninja Star, and say something about how the first term needs to always be positive. So write your summaries. Once you finish the summaries, you should have the homework out in front of you already. You can start doing that. We get out of here at 53, so we have 5 minutes left of class.